Hello to everyone who has come here to read my story. Before I begin, I want to tell you that all the names in this story are fake. I wanted to share my story without the risk of being recognized. I apologize in advance, but there was no other way for me to do this. My name is Blair, and my daughter is Selena. She is the only good thing that came out of my marriage with Jared. I met Jared when I was already doing well in life. My parents had passed away, and I was adjusting to being alone. At that time, I was also in touch with Jared's father, who became an investor in my new business. Jared's father was a great man, but he didn't think much of Jared. Jared was a party animal with no plans to settle down. His father was angry about his irresponsible behavior and wanted him to improve his image. Jared decided to date me to show he could change. Jared was charming, so it was easy to fall in love with him. Surprisingly, he seemed to improve a lot after we got together. He stopped doing drugs and was determined to become a better man. That's one reason why I married him. I genuinely believed he had changed and was ready for family life. Plus, I was hopelessly in love with him. Jared always said, "I'm so glad you came into my life, Blair. You made me a better man. I don't think my parents would have kept supporting me if it wasn't for you. You've worked hard to improve yourself, Jared. I just wanted you to reach your full potential." I would say, "I'm a little sad you decided to stay away from the business. You were good at managing it." "You don't need me anyway," Jared would reply. "I'd rather stay home and take care of our future children. I'd love to pamper you as well." I was foolish enough to believe his fake words. For 15 years, I stayed married to him. We had a beautiful daughter, Selena, early in our marriage. Jared was a stay-at-home husband while I worked hard to give us a good life. I didn't mind that he didn't have a job. I loved him and wanted him to be happy. I believed he was a caring and loving husband and father. I was wrong. My entire marriage was a lie. Everything changed when Jared's father unexpectedly died from a heart attack. I was absolutely devastated, and so was Irene. Jared's father had been like a father to me after I lost my own, so the grief hit me hard too. While we were all mourning his father, Jared was nowhere to be seen. He never visited him in the hospital or even showed up at the funeral. I convinced myself he was dealing with the grief in his own way. However, my naive thinking was shattered when I came home from the funeral and saw him packing. "Jared, why are you packing? Are you going somewhere? Is this why you didn't come to the funeral? Tell me what's the matter." "Well, I am leaving. I don't want to be with you anymore. I've already rented an apartment and I will live there until I get my hands on the inheritance." "What? But why, Jared? Why are you leaving me? This is insane. Don't act so clueless and hopeless all the time, Blair. I'm tired of you. All these years I put up with your lousy personality and ugly face because you were supporting me financially. Now that my dad is gone, I won't have to depend on you to have a good life." "Jared, what is wrong with you? Did you just marry me for money? You loved me and I loved you. Now, suddenly you want to leave me for money? It can't be the reason. It's impossible. You've always been a naive woman, Blair. I hate women like you who act so good to everyone. It makes my skin crawl. If only my dad had signed over the company to me, I wouldn't have had to be with you. Good thing he's dead, and I don't want to live with a loser wife like you." "What are you saying, Jared? We have a child together, for God's sake. Now you're telling me you never even loved me. Hell, you won't even stay for our daughter." "I don't want any kind of connection to you anymore, Blair, and no, I won't stay for Selena. She can come stay with me sometimes and I can be the fun parent. She's old enough not to need parental guidance all the time. Don't try to trap me again, Blair. I won't stay in this horrible marriage even for a moment longer. You've held me back for too long. It's time I go and live my best life." I can't even describe what I was feeling at that moment. My idol and mentor were gone, and my own husband decided to abandon me. I'm ashamed to say that I begged and pleaded for that gold digger to stay in my life. I desperately wanted to save my marriage and didn't want my daughter to grow up in a broken home. I also desperately needed his support. However, I couldn't stop him. Jared cleaned out our joint account and transferred the money to his own account. Selena couldn't understand why her father left so suddenly. She wanted answers and went to his new apartment. I went with her because I couldn't leave her alone in her hysterical state. What we saw when we entered the apartment shook us to the core. Jared was back on drugs. There were alcohol and drugs laid out on the table, and he was casually making out with an unknown woman. Selena screamed and demanded answers from her father. "Dad, what is wrong with you? How could you do this to Mom and me? Don't you have any conscience?" "Don't be dramatic, Selena. What I do with my personal life is none of your business. Besides, your mother and I are getting a divorce anyway. I was really hoping that we could try marriage counseling to become a better couple. I had no idea you had already started a new life without me. You even brought a new woman and got back on drugs. Why the hell do you think I would want to get back with you? I already told you, Blair. You were only good for me when I had no money. Now, with my inheritance, I don't need to rely on you anymore. You were a horrible man, Jared. I was ready to forgive you to make sure Selena had her father in her life. But now I see your addiction is more important to you than your family. I'm tired of acting like a family man. This is not me. I had to do this to get back into my father's good graces. You can take care of Selena by yourself. You've been doing that anyway. It's not like you need child support or anything. She will just spoil my lifestyle at this point. Hearing that, Selena began to cry loudly. I was shocked and wanted to cry too, but I didn't want to upset my daughter even more. She kept saying, "I hate you, Dad," while her father went back to the other woman. I tried to calm her down and took her back home. Selena quickly went to her room and told me to leave her alone. I took that chance to have a good cry for myself. I realized my 15 years of love was just a joke. Jared had used and discarded me, and even her daughter wasn't important to him. At that moment, rage boiled in my veins. I wanted revenge, and I knew who to call for help. I called Irene and asked her to come over. When she arrived, I said, "Irene, I went to see Jared today." Selena had been crying for him and didn't listen to me. I thought maybe seeing his daughter would make him rethink his decision. Did it work, Blair? Did he at least promise to look after Selena? Irene, Jared wants nothing to do with his daughter. I don't know how to tell you the whole truth. It's breaking me. Blair, you don't have to hide anything from me. Just tell me what happened. I told Irene everything that happened at Jared's new apartment. Irene was quiet at first, but when I finished, she was seething with rage. I always knew Jared was a good-for-nothing man. All these years, I thought he loved you and had left his past behind. He was truly showing some improvement. Today, he has shown us what a horrible human he has become. He's all set to have a luxurious and carefree life with his inheritance. That's all I was good for, a money machine for him. Selena was just his proof that he had changed. Everything was a lie. He took advantage of me and has now discarded our daughter. The inheritance he's supposed to receive is a big one, Blair. He knew that. He's been planning this for a while. I noticed how little he visited his father when he was dying. That's all I needed to know. I was hoping I was wrong. You were right, Irene. He fooled us into thinking he had changed. Once he smelled free money, he was gone like the wind. He had no regard for his family. I don't want him to be in a loveless marriage, but he should have thought about Selena. She is his child. She is devastated. Irene was quiet again for some time. Meanwhile, I was crying my eyes out. I was pretty sure Selena was doing the same thing in the next room. My heart was breaking for my poor daughter, but our tears were not in vain. Irene became Our Lady Justice. She looked really angry and said, "Don't cry, Blair. Jared is not worth the tears you shed. He has truly proved himself to be a disgusting human, but he doesn't know what I plan to do with him." What are you planning, Irene? There's no use trying to scream some sense into him. He's not a child and is far gone from being a sane man. No, Blair, I don't plan to scold him. I plan to destroy his hopes and dreams. That inheritance he's so obsessed with, he won't get it. I'll make sure of it. I was surprised to hear what Irene was saying. Yes, I knew she would help me out, but I had no idea what she was about to do for me. She gave me immense power, and I knew exactly what to do with it. For the first time in my life, I had a burning sense of revenge. I saw that reflected in Irene as well. A month later, Jared called Irene and asked to meet with her. Irene instructed him to come to my house. We sent Selena away to her friend's house since I didn't want her to witness the drama. She didn't want to see her father anyway, so she left quickly. Irene and I were ready to face Jared. I knew I had her support and felt thrilled to finally have the upper hand. Jared was going to pay. As soon as he arrived, Jared said, "Mom, I want to talk about my inheritance. Is it necessary to have Blair in this room as well?" "I know why you're here, Jared." "Yes, Blair must be in the room. Go ahead and tell me what you want to know." "It's been a month since Dad died, Mom. I still haven't seen a cent of my inheritance. No lawyer has contacted me so far. Why is it taking so long?" "Inheritance matters take time, Jared. But I'm not sure why you've been expecting a call from the lawyer. You've already received your inheritance." Jared looked at Irene and me in disbelief. He went quiet and looked confused for a minute. After being super confused about the news, he said, "What are you even talking about? All I received in the last month was $1,000, and that has been spent a long time ago." Well, that was your inheritance, Jared. I don't know why you were so confused about it. Mom, what are you saying? That can't be my inheritance. I was supposed to receive half of the company. I know Dad owned a 70% share of the company along with Blair. I should be getting my part from that. Who the hell told you this, Jared? Has your father ever told you that he would hand over his shares to you? No, but I am his only child. I should be inheriting his share of the company. I am the only legal heir. Well, no, Jared. Your father willed all his assets to me. I am now the sole owner of all his assets. He only left you $1,000 in the will. You can read the will and find out for yourself. And as for the company, I have someone managing it for me. I've given this person the power to sign over all the shares to you. What? You gave someone else the power to sign over my inheritance? Who is this person, Mom? Tell me whose signature I need to get my inheritance. This was the moment I had been waiting for. Irene looked at me and smiled. I smiled back as she squeezed my hand. Then I handed Jared the papers I had been holding on to. He took them and read through them. I watched his eyes go wide and his skin turn pale. By the time he finished the last page, he was shaking. He realized he needed my signature to get his inheritance. Mom, it says you gave Blair the power to sign over my shares. Is this true? First of all, Jared, stop saying those are your shares. They belong to Irene and only to her. I'm merely handling them on her behalf. And yes, she gave me the power to sign them over to you. You heard the lady, Jared. I'm pretty sure you read the papers and confirmed it too. You still have a chance to get the inheritance you were dying for, but you will need Blair's signature for it. But Mom, why did you do this to me? Irene, already mad, looked even scarier at this point. Jared cowered a little under her fierce gaze. I was just relieved I wasn't the target of her anger. Irene absolutely tore into Jared. How dare you ask me that question? For years, your father and Blair worked hard to make this company successful. All you ever did was mooch off them. Now that your father is dead, you discarded your whole family so you could do drugs and sleep with random women. You still have the audacity to ask why I did this. Mom, just because you like Blair more than me doesn't mean you can play favorites. I don't want to be with her anymore. She has no right to dictate whether I should get my inheritance. I'm the one who worked alongside your father to establish the company. Your father only brought you back into his life because of me. You admitted that yourself. You've done nothing to deserve the company. You played with your father's emotions and deceived him. Look, what happened is in the past. Our marital problems shouldn't let you take away my inheritance. This is a different matter. You should sign over my shares right now. That is the right thing to do. You are deluded, Jared. Our marital problems are definitely related to your inheritance. You were the one who linked marriage with money when you fooled me into thinking you loved me. You were the one who threw away our life and our daughter for money. You have no morals and no right to teach me what's right. I don't care about you or your morals. I want my inheritance. You will sign it over to me right now. Jared went on and on about how he deserved the inheritance after putting up with me for 15 years. He insulted his late father and his mom while she was present. I guess the anger got to his head as usual, and maybe the drugs and alcohol he had been taking had impaired what little sense he had. His words angered both me and Irene. She slammed her hand on the coffee table and said, "You want to know the right thing to do. The right thing to do would be to sign over the shares to Selena since you have already abandoned her. Blair, I'll give you full power to handle the shares in Selena's name until she is ready to take over. Do not give anything to Jared. If that's what you want, Irene, I will follow. Jared has lost his right to the inheritance anyway. His father never wanted him to inherit any of his assets. Now I can see why. This is ridiculous. You can't keep me away from my inheritance. I will sue you too. I will ruin your lives. Give me my inheritance now." Jared started to scream and throw tantrums at us. In the end, he got so bad that we called the police on him. We also informed them that he had been taking drugs and might be under the influence. The cops took him away, and he was acting that crazy. Later, the police ran tests on Jared and found illegal drugs in his system, leading to his imprisonment. The next day, Jared must have sobered up and realized how deep in trouble he was. He called me and said, "The police have put me in prison. Please come and bail me out." Mom hung up on me when she realized I was calling her. You are the only one who can help me. There is no way in hell I'm bailing you out. You deserve to be in prison, Jared. These are the consequences of your own actions. I'm your child's father, Blair. Think about Selena. She must be devastated to have her father in jail. Trust me, Jared. She cares nothing about you anymore, just like you care nothing about her. She wants you to suffer for what you've done. And don't even think about contacting her again. She doesn't want to see you. I've already signed the divorce papers and filed for sole custody. Seeing that you have been doing drugs, the judge won't have any problem granting my wish. Jared kept crying and begging me to help him out. He even had the nerve to mention the inheritance again, asking me to sign it over to him to give him money for bail and a lawyer. I simply hung up on him and didn't take his calls again. Months passed and Jared was forced to sign the divorce papers. He is currently in prison because he has no money. Whatever he had saved in his life was already spent in his 1 month of luxury after he left me. Selena and I are doing much better now. She's been seeing a therapist, and so Irene has been a pillar of support to us as well. We are also helping her as she grieves her husband in peace. She has decided to disinherit Jared and sign over everything to Selena. I will take care of it until Selena becomes experienced enough to handle it herself.